Hey guys, River Dave, 2021 Sand and Water Expo. I'm down here with Scott from Advantage, and well, I guess it's Advantage, but you guys also sell Manitou. You're a Manitou dealer.
Yep, we are Manitou dealer. Manitou pontoon boats.
Green is a big theme this year. A lot of boats are a lot of manufacturers are bringing out green boats.
A lot of green, and it's not the manufacturers, it's the customers.
Really?
We build the suit. You come in, you order your boat. I don't know if it's because people come in, they see a green boat, they say, "Wow, that looks good," you know. But we've done a lot of green this year. Lime green. This customer here, I mean, there's almost every green that the gel coat company offers. You got two different greens here. You got a green pin here, another green in this area here.
Yeah.
They went crazy with the greens.
They kind of cement gray and green mix, and it's really, really popular. So tell us a little bit about this. This is a 27 X-Flight. What motor's in this one?
This one's got the 438.2 HO.
Okay.
So that right there puts right about a 60, 61 mile an hour boat. And honestly, out here in Havasu with the density altitude that we get with 120 degrees and the humidity, you're going to see 50, 55 when you're all loaded up, all your family.
This is a family boat. This is a nice big family boat.
Large.
One of the things I love about X-Flights is they're safe. I mean, they're just safe. It doesn't matter what the water conditions are. It doesn't matter who you put behind the wheel. It doesn't matter. You cannot get the boat in trouble.
You cannot. You can't screw it up. It'll do it for you. The front seats are super deep.
Yeah.
You know, catamaran, deck boats. It's not anyone's doing anything wrong, but the holes come up really fast, so the seats get real narrow. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
This being the V-bottom, the seats are dropped down in, the backs are up high, super safe. You're in the boat.
Plus, you got the one model where it's got like almost like a place, a berth. You could sleep underneath that thing if you want. Ample storage, but I mean, I looked at it. I'm getting a little older now. You know, I always wanted to go around with my hair on fire, and you know, the X-Flight, when it first came out, I was kind of like, you know, I want one of them hot rod ones. And now that I'm older, I'm like, man, I can go camping with my kids in this thing, and I can legitimately sleep in it and be comfortable.
And go across any water conditions. With the V-bottom, it's slow speeds, it's cutting through the chop, and then at high speeds, it's got the air entrapment front end on it. And so when it comes back in, when it leaves water and comes back in, it comes in on a cushion of air. So that front lands so softly, it actually lands tail first.
Yeah. Well, that, you know, if you have a family, you got kids, and you want a tube, you know, tubing especially, that's really hard for a catamaran bottom to do because they don't really work until they're kind of going fast, and they don't really turn that well to begin with.
Yep.
And so this one for tubing and kids, it's just a really good mixture of a family boat.
And the way this bottom is designed, our engineer did it, the way the steps are, there's zero bow rise, you take off, you never lose sight of the horizon, it doesn't stand up on its tail, so you can actually tow kids at 20 miles an hour and the thing will stay on plane.
Very cool, very cool. So now, I'm doing a little thing, you know, because boat prices have gone crazy with COVID, so I'm going to start asking some boat prices here just so we can reflect on that on 2022. But 2021, 27 X-Flight with a 520, what does that go for?
The 520, you're at about one dogfight going on.
Little dogfight.
You're at about 167 is about where you're going to be at, and that's very nicely loaded.
Okay.
Everything you could ever need, trailer included.
Dogfight's still going. All right, so 167 for that. For a 29 X-Flight, it's going to be what?
You're about adding about 10, 15 grand to that.
Okay. Now, for what other popular models? Are we looking at 27 victories? Called a 27 victory, right?
27 victories. You're going to take probably about 15 grand off that price.
Okay, so you're at 167, so you're going to be at
150. Yeah, right around 152. Yeah, somewhere around there.
So that's our 2021 pricing. I'm going to come back in 2022 and ask you what these prices are. We're going to see how much it jumps.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's over the last couple of years, man. It's the used boat prices are costing more than the new boats.
Yes, then a lot of people are taking advantage of it. They're selling their used boats, but then unfortunately they're finding out they're selling their used boats, and then they can't get a new one because it takes forever to get the new ones built.
That's the deal. I asked the guy, I said, why the hell would you pay this much money? It was a friend of mine bought a conference. I said, that costs more than it does new. He goes, dude, it's going to take me a freaking year to get a boat. He goes, I don't want to wait a year. He goes, I don't care. This one's nice. It's ready to go. I'll take it.
That's what we're seeing in the economy right now is if it's available, we'll take it.
So my pontoon boat, I bought it for $192 plus tax, so it's $202, right, with a badass trailer and all stuff. I got a 200, 400 pontoon boat. I have people actually actively message me trying to buy this thing for $235 right now. And I'm like, and my wife's like, well, can we get another one? I'm all, no. She's like, don't sell it.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's the problem is you can get on the list for getting the new one.
Yeah.
And you got customers. The the customers don't understand. They don't want to get on the list because they don't want to wait a year. But if they don't get on the list now, they're going to wait a year and a half. So
exactly.
you dive in and get on the list. That's what you got to do.
So let's talk about general overall market. So you guys are a Manitou dealer. You're a big Manitou dealer, actually. I mean, you guys had a big twin engine out here. Actually, I almost bought it instead of mine, but I ended up doing mine. But Manitous versus fiberglass versus aluminum here. What's the sales numbers? Or what's the percentages, I guess you'd say? It's about 50-50?
Probably right about 50-50.
I asked you that 2 years ago, and you said it's about 50-50.
Yeah, it's right about 50-50. There might be one or two more aluminums in there, just because the aluminum, we can get the price point. We can get the price point down a little more.
Well, that, you know, you got a nice boat right here, for example. You can rig it to suit, right? You want a 300, you want a 200, you want a 250, you want a 400 or whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
Put it on there and ready to go.
As long as it's rigged for a Mercury motor, I can put just about any Mercury motor on there. Mm-hmm. So you come in, and well, as long as I can get the outboard too.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Supply and demand.
Supply chain.
All right, guys. This is Scott from Advantage. Scott, give them the phone number down to Advantage.
928-680-2628. 928-680-BOAT.
That's always remember it every year. Thanks so much for your time, buddy.
Thanks, Dave.